The text messaging part of Grower's Edge is very handy because every day I'll receive a text that shows me where the best local market is.
That's what I like about Grower's Edge too. It gives me the information I want on my smartphone so that if I'm not in the office, I still get the information that I need.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. It's August 2nd, 2013. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Brock Shimano. Well, Brock, let's jump into fire tip. See how the grains closed out the week here in Chicago. As you can see, quite a bit of weakness for corn and soybeans, while wheat held on to a little bit of respective strength here in today's action. Running down the quote board here, old crop corn down 11.5 cents, new crop down 3 1/4. We saw old crop beans here once again leading to the downside, down 21.5. New crop off just 11, and as I said, Chicago and Kansas City wheat hanging in there, up 2.5 cents in Chicago, unchanged in Kansas City. Certainly, Brock, right now catching a lot of attention just due to the magnitude of the moves happening in that soybean market. What are we looking at right now in terms of technical landscape, and I guess where might the bottom be?
Yeah, let's revisit that chart we were looking at yesterday. Is the new crop soybean contract, the daily candlestick chart here. You can see that we did fall below that support level we were talking about yesterday, which was at the low that we hit in late April of this year. That was right around 11.86. We did fall below that here today. The next area of support we're looking at is a low that we hit in mid-June of 2012. So this is a multi-year low right here that we're hitting today. We did go down and touch 1176.5. That low support area should be at 1176 and a quarter. So we came in right above that here today. We did test it. We did manage to hold that support level. I'm going to look for that to hold as we head into next week. But if we end up falling below that with some pretty good conviction, I would say that opens the door to pretty good selling opportunities. We're going to be moving down to 1150 to 1140 on the downside.
Yeah, certainly one thing that's going to dictate price action a lot here over the next couple weeks is the August 12th USDA WASDE report. Today we got some expectations from two big private analysts here, Doan and FC Stone. Certainly in terms of corn in particular, I thought they had some pretty aggressive numbers. Brock, you made this table here. What's kind of your take on things?
Yeah, if we take a look at the numbers here, you can see that Doan is coming in quite a bit above where FC Stone and what the USDA are currently sitting at on their overall corn production totals. And I think a lot of the reason for that is their pretty high bushels per acre average on the corn yield is what they're looking at. Going into that August 12th report, USDA, there has been some talk that there could see some possible revisions to the upside given the mild weather we've had through the silking phase, the relatively plentiful precipitation that we've had throughout the Midwest. We could see a revision by the USDA to the high side on the yield, but if we don't get that, we could open the door to some more selling here as well. Yeah. On the soybean production, it's pretty tight range there. The USDA is kind of the high end of that, and they also have the high end of the yield projections as well. They could get some revisions there. I know they are going to resurvey some soybean acres. Yeah. We could see some revisions to the acreage there, but as it stands right now, it looks like we're still going to have a pretty big crop. All of these analysts are pretty in line with each other on stating that we are going to have a big crop. Informa comes out on Monday, so we're going to be paying attention to those numbers, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Of course, we'll be tweeting those at GrainTV is where you can find us there. Yeah. Logan, heading into today's action, we did see a lot of fund selling over the last few days, and today, once again, we saw funds sell about 7,000 contracts in corn, another 6,000 in soybeans, and that's kind of been a theme of the week. We know on Fridays we do get the COT report. What are we looking at there on the COT report?
Yeah, let's take a look here at this graphic. This is combining CFTC data along with some Thomson Reuters data as well. This is distributed by Thomson Reuters, and as you can see here, kind of the most important thing to take a look at are these blue histogram bars here. This is showing the net position of managed funds in the corn market right now. And as you said, Brock, over the last couple of weeks, we've seen funds be real sellers in this market, and they're now taking quite a substantial net short position. You can see right now they're approaching 200,000 contracts net short. And certainly when we see the funds get really on one side of the boat like this, we can see a substantial snapback in terms of price action. If you take a look here at the chart, back in December of 2012, we saw funds get quite net long, kind of to the same degree that we're now seeing them net short, and we saw price action sell off accordingly quite dramatically from that point. So I'm not saying we're going to see a massive rally in December corn futures just based on the fundamentals, but that's something to keep in mind. If people are looking to make additional sales here on the new crop, I think that coming down the pipe the next couple weeks, maybe some opportunities to make those sales. We certainly have, as this details, funds extremely net short right now, and at some point they're going to have to be buyers. And additionally, this frost freeze concern has really started to build in the market, it seems like. At some point, we are going to see some buying as a result of that. So keep your eyes peeled here over the next several weeks for an opportunity to possibly price more of this crop, which at this time, all indications point, is going to be an extremely large crop, and that's going to weigh on prices ultimately.
Next week, August 12th, we do get the latest round of the USDA WASDE reports. Next week, we'll be giving the analyst estimates and our projections on what we expect out of that report. Follow us on Twitter, @GrainTV is where you can find us. We'll be tweeting any information that comes across the newswires. Check us out on Facebook, or as always, you can give us a call here in the office, 877-472-4607.
Have a good weekend.